Hey guys, my name is Gabby, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be filming my September TBR. I cannot believe that it's already September, which means that we're getting closer to fall, which means my heart is just full of so much joy. And before we do jump into my September reading plans, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to Book of the Month for sponsoring today's video. Book of the Month is a super popular and fast-growing online book service for readers. Their mission is to promote new and emerging authors and help readers discover books that they love. Every single month, there are hundreds of new releases, and their team vets through all of those releases and finds the top 5 that they think their readers would be the most interested in. You pick one of the 5 every month. You can also add on other books that sound interesting to you, either from the same month or from the past months as well. Book of the Month is risk-free because you can skip any month with no penalty if none of the 5 titles of that month sound interesting to you, but I guarantee most months you're not going to want to skip because almost always they have some of my most anticipated books of the year as selections, and they are always choosing books within some of my favorite genres like mystery thrillers, romance books, literary fiction, historical fiction, plus they have the best price for new hardcover fiction books because typically when you buy a hardcover fiction book in bookstores, they can range anywhere from $26 to $28, but this month when you use my code gabbyreads, you can get your first book for just $9.99. I swear I'll never get over that deal. Like, no matter how long I work with Book of the Month, I will always be impressed that that is the deal. That is amazing. So what are the 5 selections for the month of September? The first one I wanted to share with you is the one that I would have picked as my book of the month because it's Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. And Alice Feeney is one of my favorite thriller authors. This is her newest thriller. And this one, I don't really want to even know too much jumping into it, but it just says 10 years of marriage, 10 years of secrets, and an anniversary they will never forget. Do I even need to know any more than that? No, I don't. I will read this book and I will probably love it. And then we have another thriller pick, The Neighbor's Secret. Like 2 thriller picks this month, amazing. This one actually sounds so interesting too, and I've never even heard of this book, but it says we're following this small neighborhood and they have this book club called the Cottonwood Book Club. And then late night acts of vandalism start targeting the women of the book club, and some of their long buried secrets begin to surface. It just sounds incredible and I can't wait to read it. And then we have another book that I probably would have added on as an extra because I am so excited for this book. It's The Love Hypothesis. This is a romance novel that just sounds absolutely adorable. It says when a fake relationship between scientists meets the irresistible force of attraction, it throws one woman's carefully calculated theories of love into chaos. I mean, how adorable, honestly. This is already giving me major Kiss Quotient vibes. And then we have another romance selection this month. Book of the Month is speaking to my soul with the thrillers and the romances this month. I appreciate it. This one is The Sweetest Remedy. This is actually from the same author that wrote Ties That Tether, which is another romance that I really enjoyed. This one says, when a woman travels to Nigeria to attend the funeral of the father she never knew, she meets her extravagant family for the first time, finds a new and inspiring love interest, and discovers parts of herself she didn't know were missing. And then the last pick is going to be Beautiful Country, and wow, look at that cover. I love the purples and the orange. This one is a memoir from an astonishing new talent. Beautiful Country puts readers in the shoes of an undocumented child living in poverty in the richest country in the world. These are the 5 selections for the month of September. I know it's going to be very hard for you to choose because these all sound amazing. And yeah, thank you so much once again to Book of the Month for sponsoring today's video. And now, without any further ado, let's get into my September TBR. Alright, so the book troop selection for the month of September, if you didn't hear, is 56 Days by Catherine Ryan Howard. And this is one that I am very excited to read with you this month. I'm very curious about this book because it's a thriller that takes place during the early days of quarantine, during COVID times. So I'm very curious to read what this is going to be like. I've been seeing a few different mixed reviews from some of my friends, which just makes me even more excited to read it, honestly. 56 days ago, Sierra and Oliver met in a supermarket in Dublin and started dating the same week that COVID reached the shores. 35 days ago, when lockdown threatens to keep them apart, he suggests that they move in together. And then today, a detective arrives at his apartment to discover a decomposing body inside. So what the heck? I'm very excited that my friend Marcy is going to be the co-host with me for this month, so I'm really excited for both of us to read this book and discuss this book and hopefully have a great time. Whether we love it or not, I don't know, but I'm excited to talk about this book either way. And then if you missed it, I also did announce the October selection for next month is going to be The Last House on Needless Street, which is a book book that I am so excited about. I've been waiting to read this book like literally all year long, and I'm so excited to read it. And I'm also very excited that my friend Kayla over from Books and Lala is going to be co-hosting with me next month. So yeah, very exciting things happening in the book troupe. If you missed it, I actually announced all of the selections for the rest of the year in a video recently, so I'll have it linked down below if you missed it and you want to see. But yeah, anyways, on to what else I'm reading in September. I don't really know, to be honest, like what concrete reading plans I have in the month of September. I do have a handful of books that I would like to get to this month, but I feel like with this month I have a lot of things kind of up in the air right now, and so I don't know how much commitment time I'm going to have to reading in the month of September. Like, I have 2 secret TBR videos in mind that I would like to do, but will I actually have the motivation or time to do either of them this month? I don't know. Like, we'll just have to see if I can pull either of them off. But for sure, some books that I would really like to read this month. One of them is The Heart Principle by Helen Huang, and this is just because I've been dying to read this book and I didn't get to it in August, which was so sad. So I'm probably going to be reading this first thing in September. This is the 3rd book in the Kiss Quotient trilogy. It's just a romance that I've been highly anticipating because it follows the guy Quan, who is probably my favorite dude in the entire Kiss Quotient universe. So very excited to read this one. I'm also for sure going to be reading We Are the Brennans because I actually am in the middle of this audiobook right now. I'm about like about 30% of the way into the audiobook right now. This one's a literary fiction that follows this family, and this one was actually a July selection, so I've been meaning to get to this one for a while as well. Speaking of audiobooks from my library, I also just checked out People Like Her as an audiobook, so I'll probably definitely also be reading this one very early on in the month of September. I'm also very excited to read this one because I've heard such mixed reviews, but I know that this is a thriller that follows this girl that's like really big on social media, and I think it involves like somebody stalking her. I don't really know, but it sounds interesting. It's really short, and this was actually a pick from last December, so I've been meaning to read this one for a really long time, so I'm stoked to finally be able to get to this one. I mean, as I said, you know, audiobooks just kind of control my life now because I love reading books physically and listening with the audiobook. Like, there's something about having both of them that just like makes my brain happy, and I think it's because sometimes when I get so anxious I can't focus on reading words or just listening to audio. Like, I feel like I need both in order for my brain to focus sometimes. I don't know, I'm so strange. But anyways, the same excuse for the family plot. I know I've had this book for months and I've literally put it on every TBR forever, but this book just came out in August, so I like really need to get my shit together because they sent me this book in like freaking May or something, I want to say, and I still haven't read it, but I did put the audiobook on hold at my library, and I think I should be able to get it checked out in the month of September, so hopefully that will happen so I can finally listen and read and follow along and finally read this book. I also did just get the audiobook checked out for Lisey's Story by Stephen King, so I do think I'm finally going to get around to reading this book this month, which is very exciting because this is a Stephen King that I've been pretty interested in for a long time. So I'm curious to know, if I do end up reading this, would you like to see a reading vlog dedicated just specifically to this book, or would you just want me to include this in like a bigger reading vlog that I might do of like reading a few of these? Like, I don't really know what my reading vlog plans are for this month, but let me know if you would like to see a reading vlog just dedicated to this. I feel like this is the perfect time too for me to read this book because I know a TV show just recently aired that was like an adaptation of this. And Julianne Moore is an actress that I absolutely love and adore, and she's in the adaptation, but I've also been seeing some mixed reviews for the adaptation. Like, some people are saying it's not that good. I'm also in late September, me and my friend Jessie over from Bow Ties and Books, we decided that we wanted to buddy read My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones together. This book actually just came out at the very end of August, like August 31st it just published, and this is one that I've also been wanting to read for a while because I didn't get sent this ARC copy, but I found this ARC copy at a bookstore, and so I've had this in my possession since, like, you know, early summer, but I just wanted to save it for more of like the fall time just because I felt like it would be better to read this in the fall because this is a horror novel. You know, Stephen Graham Jones is like the king of horror, and so yeah, very excited to read this with my friend Jessie. I really hope we both end up loving this. Like, that would be really great. I was also recently sent The Royals Next Door by Karina Hall, and this is a romance that just sounds so freaking cute, and so I'm hoping to be able to read this one in September. It just says, an ordinary summer goes royally awry when a prince and princess move move next door, bringing their handsome bodyguard with them. And it takes place on this like island in Canada, and it just sounds like it's gonna be like so cute and so fun. So hopefully I will get to this one. I mean, there are a few romances I'm hoping to get to this month. Like if I could get to both of these books as well as The Love Hypothesis, that would be amazing, because this book, I just recently heard about this book and it sounds so freaking cute. And there's also The Greatest Remedy. Like, yeah, there are a number of romances that I'm hoping to get to this month, so that would be cool. And of course, like, I'm genuinely serious when I say I'm probably gonna read both of these this month, because both of these just really caught my eye. And I mean, Rock Paper Scissors is one of my most anticipated thrillers of the year because, again, you know, Alice Feeney, love her books. But also, I've never heard of The Neighbor's Secret, and this just sounds so interesting. It sounds like a more thriller take on like the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, except there's no vampires and it's more of like a thriller version of that. I mean, I don't know what to expect. It just sounds really cool. So yeah, I'm most likely going to be reading one or both of these books this month as well. But yeah, that is all of my confirmed for sure plans in the month of September. I know I just said I have like no real reading plans, and then I just freaking told you about like 10 or 15 different books that I want to read, but we'll see if I can get to it all this month. I feel like this whole summer I've been like pushing myself to read so freaking much. And obviously, like, I love that for me. Like, in the months of June, July, and August, like, I read so many books. And that's, like, amazing, and I love that for me. But also, sometimes I need a month where I'm just like, okay, just take a break for yourself and just read at your own pace. Like, don't put any pressure on myself to read. And so I think September is going to be that month for me as I get ready for all of the exciting reading that I want to do in October and November and December. Like, there's so much coming up. My clip is falling out. And yeah, there's also been some health concerns going on with Rachel and Oved's dog Tank, you know, that you see in every video that I do. Very recently they took Tank to the vet and they found a very small mass near his butt that they think could potentially be cancerous. And so he had to get surgery to get it tested, and it's currently being tested right now, but we're gonna find out pretty soon here if it is cancerous or not. And like, depending on how that goes, and what kind of mental state I'm in for the month of September, that could greatly affect my reading in the month of September. So we're just hoping for the best over here, you know, we're hoping for good news, because that would be absolutely tragic if we got bad news. Let me know, what are you planning on reading in the month of September, and what are some of these books on my TBR that you think I should prioritize or that you think I would really enjoy? Please let me know, and yeah, thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you very soon with another video. Bye.